Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Israel Wake Up. It's our Women Advanced Bible Study night, the 8th of May, 2025. I'll be revisiting the book of Joshua, chapters 9 and 10. And if we have enough time, I may read 11. Gonna go back over that. Okay, go to Israel Wake Up, to our YouTube channel, Israel Wake Up. Check out our videos. We have over 1,000 or so, over 100 or so videos that you can examine and look at. Okay, we're here every Thursday night from 7 to 9 Central Time. If you want to check us out. This is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses by our Savior and our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. Okay, this channel was created to aid and assist Hebrew Israelite women who are waking up to their true identity. Shalom and welcome to the channel, and welcome to our Women's Advanced Bible Study. We're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, songs. We have some current events, some need-to-know information. We'll open it up for anybody with any questions or comments, any dialogue, and then we'll go into our topic, which is the book of Joshua. Okay, we're going to read chapters 9 and 10 and break down the chapters. Then we'll pick a scripture and break the scripture down, then we'll close out. Okay, this moment of silence is for the Lord of hosts, and all that he's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Oh Lord, we come this day praising thee, worshiping thee for thy might and thy power and thy great understanding. Oh Lord, give us strength and wisdom to endure all that thou hast foretold. Give us, O Lord, the knowledge to rightly divide thy word, that we may that it is delivered in righteousness and truth. O Lord, we need you so very much in these latter days, and we will tarry and depend upon you, O Lord, because there is none else besides you. You are our deliverer and our redeemer. Peace be unto you. Okay. Let me read the song right quick. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read Psalm 17. It's a prayer, excuse me, it's a prayer for protection against the oppressors. It's a prayer of David. It says, Hear the right, O Lord, attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer, that goeth not out of fiends' lips. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Thou hast proved mine heart. Thou hast visited me in the night, and thou hast tried me, and shalt find nothing I am proposed that my mouth shall not transgress. Concerning the words of men, by the word of thy lips, I have kept me on the path of the destroyer. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by the right hand them which put their trust in thee, from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of thy eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouths they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps, and they have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. For men which are thy hand, O Lord, for men of the world which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness, and I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. Okay, that was Psalm 17. Anybody got any comments on that? So like I said, all our forefathers, they already knew that they was going to get resurrected. They didn't need no body to come down the cross for them to know that they was going to get resurrected in the last days, because our true Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, they already understood that it had already been told to them that they was gonna, or he was gonna raise them up in the latter days, because they was gonna help him in the judgment at the end. And we see right here as an example what David says in Psalms 17 verses 14 and 15. He says, in 13 he says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, for men which are thy hand, O Lord, for men of the world which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures. They are full of children, and they leave the rest of their substance to their babes." Then David says, "As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness." So when he died, and when he awakened, he says he's gonna be, because all the sins to be done away with, and the Most High imputed righteousness on him. That's when he's gonna behold the Most High face. He says, 15, "As for me, I will behold the face of righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake." So when he awake, in Ezekiel 37, with thy likeness. And like we know, they're going to be like the angels. That's what Zechariah chapter 12 tells us. So he says, "I will awake with thy likeness." So he'll be like he is, the angel of the Lord, a fire, consuming fire. Any comments?
Shalom. Um, in Isaiah 26:19, it says also, "Your dead shall live, their corpse shall rise. O dwell in the dust, awake in the signs of joy."
Right, yes. You got verses all through there, but because of what's been imposed on us with the New Testament, we don't see those verses until you started writing the Bible scriptures and getting rid of JC and stop dealing with the New Testament. You start, those things start to come to light. Okay. Anybody else got anything? Okay. We go to our current event.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Well, by now, many of you have probably heard that Donald Trump plans to reopen Alcatraz, a terrible prison that was known, it was very infamous for its mistreatment of people. He wants to reopen it. And he gives his reasons why, but it is my belief that Donald Trump wants to open Alcatraz for Black men. That is what I believe. And I believe I have some proof of that. You all are going to remember this when I share it with you. But this man is really showing who he is. But you have those in this country who want to pretend like he is trying to do something good for the country. I continue to hear where they're interviewing people, and folk are saying, give him a chance, and folk are saying that he's making things better. Our president is doing a fabulous job. They're saying all kinds of things. This is because they don't want to see the evil within. Why can't they see the evil within, and why don't they want to see it? Because it exists in them too. They feel the same way he feels. But this whole bit about Alcatraz, him wanting to reopen this, I believe that this is for so-called black men. You can't convince me otherwise. From time to time, people will show you some friendly exchange that Donald Trump will have with black folk and use that to try to pretend like he's not Ray Ray. Even with children, I saw someone sent me a video, and I said to myself, I don't know why you're sending this to me. You're not going to convince me with this little video. But they sent me a video of Donald Trump playing nice with two children. One was white and one was black, as if this is proof. They said they want you to believe this about Trump, but look at this video. Does this video change your mind? And I said to myself, how simple-minded can people be to believe that one video proves this man is different than all of the other videos that prove he is something else? There is so much out there that proves that Donald Trump is a wicked man. He's a wicked man. One moment, family.
Frozen in time? Don't take slow for an answer.
He's a very wicked man, but there's all of this pretense going on. This is because people don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. They want to continue to believe the lie. So all I can really say to that again is what the Bible says, is the Most High said he's going to send a strong delusion so you can go ahead and believe your lie. Because you don't have a love for the truth, but you have pleasure in unrighteousness. So anyway, I want you all to hear what's going on with this whole business about Alcatraz, in which, like I said, it was a terrible prison. But there is talk of him not only wanting to reopen it, he also wants to expand it, y'all. He wants to expand it? Are you kidding me? And I think if we are being honest with ourselves, we know the real reason why he wants to expand it. It has absolutely nothing to do with him wanting to keep the American people safe. If you believe that, I have 2 tickets to Venus to sell. If you believe that it's all about keeping America safe. This man is a wicked, nefarious, demonic man. And he doesn't like black folk. And there's all this pretense that he does because he makes nice with a handful of them. You can't be that simple-minded to fall for that kind of stuff. Just because someone smiles at you or pats you on the back like you're some puppy dog doesn't mean that they like you. We can't afford to be.
Violence highlight racial disparities in his approach to crime. While he pushes for harsh penalties in Black communities, he has defended or excused white offenders, reinforcing concerns about racial bias in his policies and rhetoric. Donald Trump's plan to reopen Alcatraz has been met with skepticism, with critics arguing that it is a deceptive move designed to mask his true agenda while presenting himself as a champion of law and order. While Trump claims that reopening the infamous prison will house America's most ruthless and violent offenders, many believe that the plan is more about political optics and control than actual public safety. Trump's announcement frames the reopening of Alcatraz as a necessary step to combat crime. But several factors suggest that the move is more about symbolism and political messaging than practical policy. Alcatraz was originally closed due to its crumbling infrastructure and high maintenance costs, and reopening it would require extensive renovations, raising questions about feasibility. Instead of addressing root causes of crime, such as poverty, education, and systemic inequality, the plan focuses on incarceration, which has historically disproportionately affected marginalized communities. The rhetoric surrounding Alcatraz plays into Trump's tough-on-crime persona, appealing to voters who favor strict law enforcement policies, despite practical concerns about its effectiveness. Critics argue that Trump's approach disproportionately targets Black men, reinforcing racial disparities in the justice system. Tough-on-crime policies often lead to heightened policing and increased arrests in predominantly Black neighborhoods.
Back down. But this is the man America loves. I was listening at some interviews today where they were talking about the economy and how terrible things have been. And they were asking some of his supporters, do you still support him? Some of these people said they're losing their, one guy mentioned his 401k took a major hit. Another woman was talking about her losses, but through it all, they said, give him a chance. And one woman even said, Donald Trump, if you ever hear this, I love you. I said to myself, these are some sick people. They are sick. This man is wicked, and they are using that as their interview as an opportunity to tell him they love him.
Okay, anybody heard anything about this, Alcatraz?
Shalom. I saw a little clip on it, and he was trying to justify why he needs to open it. He said there are so many judges that have so many cases, and it's going to take so long. And I guess he wants to just put whoever the case, whoever's going to jail, just go there until they can clear their case out. But he also, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago or so, he was talking about how bad the black community wants control in their neighborhoods, and they want to put more policemen in the neighborhoods to protect the blacks because they can't cross the street and go get something to eat without being shot at and things like that. So like she was saying about putting the blacks in that building, in Alcatraz, then by that statement he made a couple of weeks ago, it seems like that's his target, to put them there, to go in the communities, get them, and place them in that place there. But again, to add on to it, he needs to build another part of the island. Does he know it's just an island? It has no extra parts to put on it unless he builds it onto it. But I saw that little clip about what he said. He needs to, that's where he says that it's a place, for the bad people. That's what he said.
Okay, anybody else? Any other comments? Okay.
Now, and what we're going to spend time on, where we spent all our cycles trying to figure out how we have the right customer experience. So
tonight, we're witnessing a bold move by one of the most powerful companies in the world, one that's flying under the radar, but could reshape the U.S. economy in ways few expected: Amazon. The global titan of retail and logistics has made a strategic decision in response to the economic pressures created by former President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs. But instead of filing lawsuits, staging public protests, or engaging in corporate grandstanding, Amazon chose a different, quieter form of resistance. They simply shifted course and left. Not entirely, but in key operational areas, Amazon has redirected billions of dollars in business away from the United States. They've rerouted supply chains, restructured fulfillment hubs, and scaled up operations just across the southern border in Mexico. This wasn't an emotional reaction. It was a cold, calculated decision rooted in logistics, costs, and speed. And as Amazon quietly adapts and evolves, Donald Trump, once again at the center of political spotlight, reacts with fury, branding the move as un-American and personally offensive. What we're witnessing isn't just a corporate pivot. It's a silent but seismic response to economic nationalism. In a move that's as strategic as it is symbolic, Amazon has quietly begun restructuring major segments of its supply chain, shifting operations, fulfillment hubs, and manufacturing partnerships just south of the U.S. border into Mexico. This isn't just about cutting costs. It's a calculated response to shifting trade policies, specifically the tariffs introduced during Trump's administration. And while Amazon proceeds with precision and little fanfare, Donald Trump, staying true to his characteristic style, is responding loudly, condemning the company's actions as disloyal and framing them as an attack on American industry. This isn't just a policy fight. It's a clash of two visions of power: economic muscle versus political might. Let's break it down. Back in 2018, then President Donald Trump enacted a sweeping series of tariffs targeting imports from China and several other major trading partners. The message was loud and clear. Bring American jobs home. Penalize foreign manufacturers and apply pressure on U.S. corporations to invest in domestic production. It was part of a broader America First economic agenda designed to reshape global trade through blunt force. But the corporate world didn't respond with patriotism. It responded with strategy. Instead of reshoring their operations or absorbing the higher costs, many American companies began looking for smarter ways to stay competitive and profitable. Among them, Amazon stood out. With access to vast data networks, global logistics models, and predictive algorithms, Amazon didn't waste time. It did what it has always done best: adapt at scale and fast. Rather than confront the tariffs directly or lobby against them, Amazon quietly took a different route, literally. It rerouted critical parts of its supply chain away from China, yes, but not necessarily back to the US. The destination? Mexico. And Mexico, with its trade agreements, workforce, and infrastructure, was more than ready to receive them. Mexico offers something China simply can't: proximity. It's close, fast, and cost accessible. For a company like Amazon, built on the promise of rapid delivery and lean logistics, that matters more than ever. Shipping from Mexico means reduced transit times, fewer customs delays, and lower fuel and freight costs. But it's not just about distance. There's also policy. NAFTA, now replaced by the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, continues to provide relatively smooth trade conditions across North America. That's a huge advantage over the often unpredictable dynamics of US-China trade, especially in the wake of tariff wars. Amazon didn't miss the opportunity. It began investing heavily, building new warehouses, expanding distribution networks, and forming partnerships with Mexican suppliers and logistics firms. The shift was quiet, but intentional. So when Donald Trump raised tariffs, hoping to pressure corporations into bringing business back home, Amazon responded differently. It didn't protest. It didn't debate. It protected its margins by moving faster than the politics. Cue the outrage. In recent public appearances and campaign rallies, former President Donald Trump has taken aim at Amazon, accusing the tech and retail giant of being unpatriotic and disloyal to the American workforce. He claims the company is abandoning the United States, prioritizing foreign profits over national interest. Without offering concrete evidence, Trump has even suggested that Amazon's decisions are undermining the US economy, part of a broader narrative that paints American corporations as villains in his economic story. And in true Trump fashion, the criticism is personal. He's not just calling out a policy. He's targeting a name, a brand, and a symbol of modern capitalism. What began as a debate over trade and tariffs has now escalated into something more emotional, a clash of identities. One man wielding political rhetoric and public anger, the other a global enterprise driven by data, logistics, and bottom lines. Policy in a hype.
The benefit of having these tools is it cuts
Globalized world, a world where capital moves faster than politicians can speak, and where decisions made in boardrooms, driven by data and algorithms, are more influential than any policy speech or executive order. The reality of today's global economy is that companies are no longer bound by the same national loyalties that once defined industrial strategy. Instead, corporate decisions are shaped by speed, cost, and efficiency. Amazon didn't just react to tariffs, it adapted, using its vast network and technological edge to move swiftly, sidestepping policies that might have once hurt its bottom line. In contrast, Trump's strategy was one of blunt force, pushing companies with tariffs, attempting to force them into submission. Amazon's reply? Precision. It wasn't about loud rhetoric or finger pointing. It was about quietly rerouting billions in business.
Okay. So we see Amazon leaving. I think it's going to be a mass exit of businesses. But yeah, Amazon is leaving and left America. Okay. Any comments on that?
Shalom. I read a couple articles about that too. That was doing like April the 10th, earlier this last month. They were doing a lot of shifting.
Okay. Some need to know information right here. We play that, and then we go into our lesson. Yeah, let me play this. Some need to know information.
Hear me when I say this. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot depend on these jobs. You cannot depend on these jobs. So many people are suffering right now. So many people are leaving Miami and leaving their houses and moving to other places and leaving their New York and moving to other places, moving to Jersey City, getting out of these high-priced places. Even with good jobs, even with good degrees, you cannot depend on your degree. You cannot depend on college. You cannot depend on a job. Hear me when I say this. Do not forget about you. Do not forget about how powerful you are. You're going to school to get a job. You're going to work to get a paycheck. They're using what is on the inside of you. They're using your skills. They're using your abilities. They're using your mind. They're using your vision. They're using things that are on the inside of you. Why are you not using you? Why are you not using your skills? Why are you not on YouTube? Why don't you have a YouTube channel? Why are you not sharing your daily life? People are, their lives are being shattered because of the job. They can no longer move up in the company. The company is letting them go because of finance issues. Things are happening. Favoritism is going on. You can't move up because you got to know so-and-so or you got to sleep with so-and-so. Listen, stop thinking a job is your end all to be all, because it is not. You make the job. You make the money. You make the growth of the company. They need you. So why are you not using you? Why are you not using what's on the inside of you? You keep depending on that job. You keep trying to grow in the company, but you're forgetting one thing that they need is you. You use you. Start you a YouTube, y'all. You just don't understand how powerful social media is right now. How powerful. Listen, a lot of these jobs, they're hiring for people to clean up their dirty work. You think you got a good job and you got a good position. They only needed you to clean up their dirty work. So now you're stressed out. Now you got to fire people. Now you got to hire people and keep dealing with the negativity that's already going on. They hired you to clean up the dirty mess, and now you're stressed. Now they're using you and stressing you out and draining you, and you're forgetting that you can use you. You got that talent. You got that dream. You got that skill. But we've been told, and it's been drained in our heads. Get a job, work. Even doing food delivery keeps you away from all that stress. So you can focus on your skills. So you can focus on what's inside of you that can help you build. Hiring people just to clean up their mess. Okay, people look for a job and they're like, I just want to be happy. I just want a good job. No, a lot of these jobs are hiring people just to clean up their crap. And knowing they're not gonna be around too long, and then they're letting people go with no warning. Big companies that you think had money were doing good are not doing good. They just look good on social media. They just look good in the commercials, but they're not doing good. They're not. Banks are not giving out loans like they used to. If you are one of the blessed ones to hear this video, listen to me. Start using your skills for you. Start tapping into your greatness and your abundance so you can be outside on a Wednesday at 3 o'clock riding down Miami Beach on your bike instead of stressing out at some job that wants you to clean up their mess, being fake in PowerPoints with coworkers you don't even like, getting sick at potlucks, getting rolled up because you're not talking to other coworkers. Scratch all that. Use you. Use you. I am trying to, I hope I'm getting through to you. You are the job. These jobs are not loyal. Things are changing. The only job right now that's really popping is jobs that's popular, jobs that are popular on social media, jobs where people are talking about them. A business, if you're not a business where there's a lot of talking, where you're popular, it's hard to win right now. Back in the day, businesses were open and the community is what kept them going. Now, if you're not something popular or popping or on TikTok, or if a TikTok ain't being made about you right now, it's struggling season for a lot of people.
Okay. Any comments? Anybody got any questions on that? What do you think? She making any sense?
Well, she's basically what I'm listening to: become your own entrepreneur and get out and use your skills and your God-given gifts to promote yourself and make money for yourself.
Okay. All right. Okay. So with that being said, we open it up for some Q&A. Anybody have any questions or comments about anything we talked about last night, last week? Anything you came across on YouTube you want to talk about? Got any questions? Comments? Okay. I'll play this video right here and then we'll go into our lesson.
Greetings, family. This is Wanda. This is Diaspora Connect. Thank you so much for tuning in. Decided to do a video today. And yeah, I wanted to talk about family. Trump is declaring martial law in the Black communities in America, in the U.S., martial law. He signed the executive order to basically declare martial law to come into the African-American Black communities in the United States. And you already know what they're doing to us as it is. And so you got to know, your family, you got to know that it's going to be much worse. You got to know the unaliving is going to be much worse with our men and our boys. Look back in the Bible and read the story about the children of Israel in Egypt and the cruel punishment that they had to endure under a cruel ruler, which was Pharaoh. So,
Guarantee savings growth with Marcus. Our high yield CD up.
United States, the United States is Mystery Babylon, AKA the house of bondage. It's the house of bondage. It's the house of slavery. It is not your home. It is not your home, Black people. I don't know how many times we have to get you to see this. But anyway, if the United States was your home, then the president would not be declaring martial law on you. You would not be getting unalived in the streets and the people find themselves not guilty. So it's not your home. It's not your true home. If you don't know that, I'm telling you that, okay? Now, Trump has declared martial law for the Black communities, claiming that so due to crime, we're in danger, we need more policing. Therefore, you don't have any constitutional rights. Once that military comes in there, and it's martial law, then they have a right to. You have no rights. They can come in your house. They could just just harass you for no reason. They can police you for no reason. So yeah, you will not have any rights, none whatsoever, in the United States, Black people. So I've been telling you this and warning you and admonishing you and advising you, and I'm coming again, and I'm showing you, like, I'm just telling you again, like, that's not going to be a safe place for you to live. It's not going to be peaceful. It's never going to be back like it used to be. That time is over. Actually, they're setting up the beast system there, and the Nazis run America. And so it's a Nazi country. Nazis run it. And so eventually you'll be enslaved again. It's just period, point blank. All your rights are going to be gone. They're going to be able to do whatever they want to you. They're already able to do whatever they want to us as it is. Therefore, I am advising you once again, leave the United States. Go to someplace. Go someplace. Go to Southeast Asia. People like to go to Asia around the Chinamen. When there was a video that just came out of a woman in China telling a Black woman in China to go back to your country, the N-word. So you got all these other nations taking a page out of the white supremacist race soldiers handbook. So they feel the same way. The only place that you won't be called that, so much so, is in Africa, where everybody looks like you and you look like everybody here. It's just advice from people who live in those countries that can give you pointers and tips to make it a little bit more seamless if you want to relocate or repatriate. So we're going to do another video about the benefit of residency permit over citizenship at this point. There is a benefit at this point. And now a lot of people used to complain about Tanzania saying, oh, I don't want to go to Tanzania because they don't offer citizenship. Well, the way things are going right now, it's good that they don't. It's good that they just have residency permits, because the president of the United States is making enemies with everybody. And so you don't want to have dual citizenship right now at this point, because you don't know how you might be treated. You don't know how you might be at the top of a list somewhere in America saying, oh, this person, they are from the United States, but they got a dual citizenship with another country that the U.S. is beefing with, and they might start looking at you as like a suspect, or looking at you suspect, looking at you as like a spy. Yeah, it's so much going on, y'all. So, and see, it's a wireless. Well, it's a wired microphone. It's a wired microphone. But yeah, I could.
Okay. Any comments on that? Is it making any sense?
Shalom. She's leaving out the reason why one can call martial law. It has to be an emergency. It has to be where within United States, the North gets the South, like the civil law, the war that we had here in the United States. It has to be something of that mass happening to call martial law. Trump is saying these things, and it's supposed to have happened on the 20th, and it did not happen. There's too many judges out there. It's not only going to affect, as she's saying, the blacks, it will affect everyone, because they cannot really pick and choose. You have a lot of interracial families in the United States. So for them to just call out and say we're going into the black community, or we're going to just get the black men, excuse me, it's going to be, and it's not saying it cannot be, but it will be a difficult deal to make. And then again, it has to be an emergency. It has to be something that he can call out, and it hasn't anything happened like that yet.
Okay. Anybody else got any comments on that? Feedback? Okay, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is go into the book of Joshua. I'm reading out of chapters 9. I'm gonna read 9 and 10. If I have enough time, I'll read 11. But I'm going back because I saw some more stuff in there that pertaining to what's going on right now. So I'm going back and I'm reading it again. And so I start reading out of chapter 9, and then we'll break down chapter 9, then we go to chapter 10. Okay, it says, chapter 9, of Jasher, and Haran, the son of Terah, Abraham's oldest brother, took a wife in those days. Haran was 39 years old when he took her, and the wife of Haran conceived and bore a son, called his name Lot. Right? Then, and she conceived again and bore a daughter, called her name Milcah, and she again conceived and bore a daughter and called her name Sarai. Haran was 42 years old when he begot Sarai, which was in the 10th year of the life of Abraham. And in those days, Abraham and his mother and nurse went out from the cave, and the king and his subjects had forgotten the affair of Abraham. Right. So I'm going to break this down because it says, when you look at this, it says, Haran, son of Terah, Abraham's oldest brother. So Abraham's oldest brother is Haran, right? And he took a wife in those days, and Haran was 39 years old when he took a wife. And the wife of Haran conceived and bore a son. So this is Abraham's brother. His wife conceived, bore a son, called his name Lot. So that's Abraham's nephew. And then Haran, Abraham's brother, conceived again and bore a daughter, and she called her name. He called her name Milcah, and she again conceived and bore a daughter, called her name Sarai. So Sarai is Abraham's niece. That's who he married. That's his niece, right? So it says Haran was 42 years old when he begot Sarai, which was in the 10th year of the life of Abraham. So in those days, Abraham and his mother and nurse went out from the cave, as the king and his subjects had forgotten the affair of Abraham. So what's the affair of Abraham? Abraham was born and a star came across the sky. Well, they got this symbolism. What happened to Abraham? And they put it on JC. But when Abraham was born, a star appeared in the sky, and went across the sky. And then Abraham was born in a cave or a manger. Abraham was born in the manger, not JC. JC is concocted. So it says, and when Abraham came out of the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem. So we see right here, Noah and Shem still alive at the time Abraham was born. And he remained with them to learn the instructions of the Lord and his ways. And no man knew where Abraham was. And Abraham served Noah and Shem, his son, for a long time. So notice right there it says Abraham served. He served Noah and his son. So when you understand that, he bowing down to them. You notice how when Joseph, even though he was the king, we was reading last night, even though Joseph was the king, and had all that power in Egypt, but when he came to his father, he bowed down on the ground to his father. So like I was saying before, right here, Noah is Melchizedek, right? Noah is Melchizedek because he came through the flood. He's holding a title. Everybody else before the flood is dead except him and Shem. Okay, so it says, and Abraham was in Noah's house 30 years, and Abraham knew the Lord from three years old, and he went in the ways of the Lord until the day of his death, as Noah and his son Shem had taught him. See that? Melchizedek, teacher of righteousness. Noah had, and his son Shem had taught him, and all the sons of the earth in those days greatly transgressed against the Lord, and they rebelled against him, and they served other gods, and they forgot the Lord who had created them in the earth, and the inhabitants of the earth made unto themselves at that time every man his god, gods of wood and stone, which could neither speak, hear, nor deliver. And the sons of men served them, and they became their God. So see right here again, I told you, when I'm thinking like a Hebrew, it says, uh, they forgot the Lord of hosts, who had created them in the earth. So it's the sixth day man, Ham, and the inhabitants of the earth made unto themselves at that time every man his God, right? Every man his God, gods of wood and stone, which could neither speak, hear, nor deliver. Same way with JC. And the sons of men served them, and they became their gods. So if they serving them, they bow down to them. So it tells you up here, Abraham served Noah and Shem. Okay, and the king and all his servants and Terah with all his household were then the first of those that served God for wood and stone. And Terah had 12 gods of large size made of wood and stone after the 12 months of the year. Same right now. And he served each one monthly. Every month, we doing it, but ignorantly. He served each one monthly. Every month, Terah would bring his meat offerings and drink offerings to his gods. Thus did Terah all the days. And all that generation were wicked in the sight of the Lord. And they thus made every man his God, but they forsook the Lord who had created them. And there was not a man found in those days in the whole earth who knew the Lord, for they served each man his own God, except Noah and his household, and all those who were under his counsel knew the Lord in those days. So right here, this is another example of what I was talking about. It says, and there was not a man found. Okay, remember, Noah got 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? And there was not a man found in those days in the whole earth who knew the Lord, for they served each man his own God, except Noah and his household. So what's Noah's household? Noah and Shem. We just told you that's where Abraham went, to Noah's household. Japheth and Ham ain't in his household. It says Noah and his household, and all those who were under his counsel that knew the Lord in those days. That's Noah and Shem. And when Noah passed, Abraham became Melchizedek. That's who Abraham met in Genesis 15:14. Okay? So, and the Lord gave Abraham an understanding heart, and he knew all the works of that generation were vain, and that all their gods were vain and were of no avail. And Abraham saw the sun shining upon the earth, and Abraham said unto himself, surely now the sun that shines upon the earth is God, and him will I serve. And Abraham served the sun in that day, and he prayed to him. And when evening came, the sun set as usual. Abraham said within himself, surely this cannot be God. And Abraham still continued to speak within himself. Who is he who made the heavens and the earth, who created upon the earth? Where is he? And night darkened over him, and he lifted up his eyes toward the west, north, south, and east, and he saw that the sun had vanished from the earth, and the day became dark. And Abraham saw the stars and the moon before him, and he said, surely this is God, who created the whole earth as well as man. And behold, these his servants are gods around him. And Abraham served the moon and prayed to it all that night. And in the morning, when it was light, the sun shined upon the earth as usual. Abraham saw all things that the Lord God had made upon the earth. And Abraham said unto himself, surely these are not gods that made the earth and all mankind, but these are the servants of God. And Abraham remained in his house of Noah, and there knew the Lord in his ways, and he served the Lord all the days of his life, and all the generations forgot the Lord and served other gods, wood and stone, and rebelled all their days. And King Nimrod reigned securely, and all the earth was under his control, and all the earth was one tongue and words of union. And all the princes of Nimrod and his great men took counsel together, put Nazarene, Cush, Canaan, with their families, and they said to each other, come, let us build ourselves a city, and in it a strong tower, and its top reaches to heaven, and we will make ourselves fame, so that we may reign upon the whole world, in order that the evil of our enemies may cease from us, that we may reign mightily over them, and that we may not become scattered over the earth on account of their ways. So let's go back up. Like I said, shining a light on the fact that Noah and them ain't no brothers, right? 20 says King Nimrod reigned securely. So Nimrod is out of hand. King Nimrod reigned securely, and all the earth was under his control, and all the earth was one tongue and the words of union. And all the princesses of Nimrod and the great men took counsel together, put Nazarene, Cush, Canaan with their families. See that? They ain't in no house. See that? And they said to each other, come, let us build ourselves a city, and in it a strong tower, and its top reaches to heaven, and we will make ourselves fame, as that we may reign upon the whole earth, in order that the evil, look at this, in order that the evil of our enemies may cease from us. So who are the enemies? Noah, Shem, Hebrews. See that? Okay. The enemies may cease from us, that we may reign securely over them, and that we may not become scattered over the earth on account of their wars. See that? So these ain't no brothers and sisters. Okay, 26. And all these people and all the families divided themselves in three parts. The first said, we will ascend into heaven. So it's Ham, 6-day man, right? And all the people and all the families divided themselves in three parts. The first said, we will ascend into heaven and fight against him. Yeah, these ain't no people. Fight against him. The second said, we will ascend into heaven and place our own gods there, serve them. And the third part said, we will ascend into heaven and smite him with the bows and spears. And God knew all their works and all their thoughts, and he saw the city and the tower which they were building. So, like I said before, these people came over the flood. Ham came over the flood along with Noah. Look what the hell he doing, and look what Noah doing. Okay, like I said before, he told them Noah before the flood to get a male and a female of all flesh. So he had to get a male and a female from the 6-day man that he created on Genesis 1:26, and then he had to get a male and a female from Cain lineage. They came from the serpent, and the serpent slept with Eve. That's who Japhet is. Okay, so it says 27, and when they were building, they built themselves a great city and a very high and strong tower, and on account of its height, the mortar and the brick did not reach the builders in their ascent to it, until those who went up had completed all a full year, and after that they reached to the builder and gave them the mortar and the bricks. Thus was it done daily. And behold, these ascended and those descended the whole day. And if a brick should fall from their hands and get broken, they would all weep over it. And if a man fell and died, none of them would like or look at him. And the Lord knew their thoughts. And it came to pass when they were building, they cast the arrows toward the heavens, and all the arrows fell upon them, filled with blood. And when they saw them, they said to each other, surely we have slain all those that are in heaven. For this was from the Lord in order to cause them to err and in order to destroy them from off the face of the ground. And they built it. Okay, see that? Let's look at 30 again. So these nut buckets shot arrows into heaven. The Lord of hosts tricked them, put blood on the arrows when they came back. They thought they had killed all the angels and killed Yahweh in heaven, right? Well, let's look at what happened. Well, and you tell me whether this is Noah's people. It says, for this was from the Lord in order to cause them to err and in order to destroy them from off the face of the earth, off the ground. So how they Noah's speaking and the Most High trying to destroy him. And God said to the 70 angels who stood foremost before him, to those who were near to him, saying, come, let us descend and confuse their tongues, that one man might not understand the language of his neighbor. And they did so unto them. So this verse right here stuck out to me. I was reading it last night, and it says 32, and God said to the 70 angels who stood before him, to those who were near to him, saying, come, let us descend and confuse their languages, that or one man shall not understand the language of his neighbor. And they did so unto them. So right here, you fast forward this, like he said, the Most High changed not. Haven't he taken away our language? Everybody want to say why we ain't coming together, but have he not taken away our language? He tells us in Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9, he's going to return unto us a pure language. So he took away our language, just like he did right here with these people. He took away their language, he took away ours. Okay? And he gave up our books to our enemies, and they mutilated our books and hoodwinked. That's how they concocted JC. So 33, and from that day following, they forgot each man his neighbor's tongue, and they could not understand to speak in one tongue. And when the builder took from the hands of his neighbor a lamb or stone which he did not order, the builder would cast it away and throw it upon his neighbor that he would die. And they did so many days. They killed many of them in this manner. And the Lord smote the 3 divisions that were there, and he punished them according to their works and design. Those who said, we will ascend to heaven and serve our gods became like apes and elephants. And those who said, we will smite the heavens with arrows, and the Lord killed them, one man through the hand of his neighbor. And the 3rd division of those who said, we will ascend to heaven and fight against him, the Lord scattered them throughout the earth. And those who were left among them, when they knew and understood the evil which was coming upon them, they forsook the building, and they also became scattered upon the face of the earth. And they ceased building the city and the tower. Therefore he called that place Babel, for there the Lord confounded the language of the whole earth. And behold, it was at the east of the land of Shinar. And as to the tower which the sons of men built, the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up 1/3 part thereof, and a fire also ascended from heaven and burned another 1/3, and the other 1/3 is left to this day, and it is and it is of that part which was a law, and its circumference is 3 days walk. And many of the sons of men died in that tower, the people without number. But that was Joshua chapter 9, verse 10. Anybody got any questions, comments on that? Anything stand out?
Shalom. One thing I was thinking while you're reading, yours about Abram. He
Okay.
he was after the flood, correct?
He was what?
He came after the flood, correct?
Exactly.
He was born after Noah died. Noah was 100 years old, and he died. Oh no, he died when Noah died. 2 years later, Shem had Abram, correct?
No. Terah was Abraham's father.
And he was born when? 2 years after Noah died?
No, he stayed in Shem and Noah's house for 30 years.
Oh.
That's how he got the
Oh,
knowledge that he got.
and so it's
He,
two.
really, he was
It's
raised. He was raised by Shem, Noah, and Shem.
oh,
So when you go to Genesis 14, Abraham already knew that they didn't hoodwink it and wrote it where people don't see it, but Abraham knew who Melchizedek was. He was Shem. He knew him. He had already lived. He was raised by Noah and Shem. So in Genesis 14, when Melchizedek came and helped and came and assisted Abraham when he went to save Lot, that was Shem. Okay.
okay. Oh, because what confused me was after the flood, it was just the three boys and the they said the sons, Ham, Shem, and Japhet, and then the three mothers, their wives, and then the other people. So that's why I was wondering how, you know,
What other people?
um, you said that they got flesh from others that came up on the ark. Remember?
Yeah, it's got
So those were the other people that came off the ark with them.
no, he got Shem is Noah's son. He told him to get a male and a female from all flesh. Ham is from the 6 day man. It's a male and a female from them. They not no Shem brother. Ham ain't no Shem brother. Then he had to get Cain. Came from the union of Eve and the serpent. So Cain is a whole other race of people. It came from the serpent. But he had to get a male and a female from Cain's lineage. That's who Japhet is.
Oh,
So
okay.
Adam's lineage Noah, Shem is Noah's son. That's Noah's household. Then Ham household is from the 6 day man. And Japhet came from Cain's lineage before the flood.
So
The commandment was to get a male and a female from all flesh, not just animals, all flesh on the earth. So
okay.
remember that what Cain did, killed Abel, and Cain left,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And he went and found a wife. He got his own lineage. We came from the serpent. So when the flood came, the Lord of hosts told Noah to get a male and a female from all flesh. So we got Japhet and his wife from Cain's lineage. It's not Noah's son. He ain't got no connection with Noah. And Ham is the 6 day man when they said, let us go down and make man in our image. And then he
Yes, sir.
created them. Yeah.
Okay. So they were saying that Ham was only one that was in a darker skinned person. Was Noah and Shem dark like Ham?
No, they brown skinned. They were reddish. That's why I say reddish. You see people that's brown, their skin look red, brown.
Oh, like Jacob and Esau.
Yeah, right.
Esau
Jacob,
was reddish and Jacob
right,
was um brown, I guess.
right. Esau was red.
Okay.
With a
That's like what?
red hair, Harry. Esau
Oh,
was a plain man. Jacob was a plain man with smooth skin, brown skin. And so what you have to understand is, in order to follow that, you just go to Genesis chapter uh, 10, and then you go to verse 20. You see that those giants in Ham's lineage, the giants in Ham's lineage. So that means the angels came, the angels dealing with Ham's lineage. That's what Nimrod a giant. And then you go to Japhet lineage, the giants in Japhet lineage. So,
oh, okay. So
right,
it took a long time for the Tower of Babel to be built. That's how long it was for more families to grow, more generations to come.
right,
With
right, right.
oh,
Those giants. That's what you have to understand about that. Those are giants that's building the Tower of Babel. Giants,
yes, sir.
right,
Okay. Thank you.
right. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I'm gonna read this last chapter. Chapter 10 says, and Peleg and Eber died in those days, in the 48th year of life of Abraham, son of Terah. And all the days of Peleg were 239 years. And when the Lord had scattered the sons of men on account of their sins at the tower, behold, they spread forth into many divisions, and all the sons of men were dispersed into four corners of the earth. And this is how people got all over the earth right here. It says, when the Lord had scattered the sons of men on account of their sins at the tower, behold, they spread forth into many divisions, and all the sons of men were dispersed into all the four corners of the earth. And all the families became each according to its language, its land, or its city. And the sons of men built many cities according to their families, and in all the places where they went, and throughout the earth where the Lord has scattered them. Some of them built cities in places from which they were afterwards extrapolated, and they called these cities after their own names, or the names of their children, or after their particular occurrences. Excuse me. And the sons of Japhet, the son of Noah, went and built themselves cities in the places where they were scattered, and they called all their cities after their names. And the sons of Japhet were divided upon the face of the earth into many divisions and languages. These are the sons of Japhet, according to their families: Gomer, Magog, Midian, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, Tyrus. These are the children of Japhet, according to their generations. And the children of Gomer, according to their cities, were the Frankins, who dwelt in the land of France, by the river France, by the river Sina. And the children of Rephath are the Barton, who dwelt in the land of Bartonia, by the river Leda, which empties the waters into the great sea of Gihon, that is Oceanus. And the children of Tomagog and their 10 families, these are the names: Bozrah, Perak, Olga, Elikim, Redit, Tarka, Bib, Zeba, Onagal, and Timuz. And these spread and rested in the north and built themselves cities. And they called their cities after their own names. Those are they who abide by the river Hitler and elect unto this day. But the families of Angela, Borgar, and Ponagar, they dwell by the great river Duna, and the names of their cities are also according to their own names. And the children of Jabin are the Jabinim who dwell in the land of Macedon, and the children of Midra are the Orlum that dwelled in the land of Kirshon, and the children of Tubal are those that dwell in the land of Tuscana by the river of Pesala, and the children of Meshach are the Tabashana, and the children of Tyrus are Rushas, Cush, and Ogolas. All these went and built themselves cities. Those are cities that are situated by the sea Jabus, by the river Pura, which empties itself in the river of Tragan. And the children of Elizabeth are the Almanim, whatever that is, and they also went and built themselves cities. Those are the cities situated between the mountains of Job and Sinai, and them were the people of Lumbra, who dwelt at the opposite of the mountains of Job and Shibna, and they conquered the land of Italy and remained there until this day. And the children of Chechem are the Romans who dwelt in the valley of Canopia by the river Tibra, and the children of Dudan are those who dwell in the cities of the sea of Gihon in the land of Borna. Okay, let me see. These are the families of the children of Japhat according to their cities and their families when they were scattered after the tower, and they called their cities after their names and occurrences. And these are the names of all their cities according to their families, which are built in those days after the tower. So this is what I found interesting right here when they got to Shem. It says the children of Shem, of Ham, the children of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, Canaan, according to their generations and cities. All these went and built themselves cities as they found fit for themselves, fit places for them. And they called their cities after the names of their fathers, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. And the children of Mizraim, like I was telling you, chapter 10 in the King James, these are all giants right here. So Egypt, the land of Mizraim, is another name for Egypt, and that means land of the giants. Very few people know that. It says 21. All the children of Mizraim are all these giants, Ludan, Anakim, Deacon, all these I am on the end of their name, they're all giants. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 2. 7 families. And we know that they was given to Abraham when Abraham circumcised himself. In Genesis 15, the 7 races, 7 families of those Canaanites was given to Abraham. And the land says all these dwell by the river Sahar, that is in the brook of Egypt. See that brook of Egypt? These are all giants. And they built themselves cities and called them after their own names. And the children of Petros and Kalach intermarried together, and from them went forth the Philistines, Philistine and the Azarim and the Gerim, all these giants, like I said, and the Gittims and the Akims in all the 5 cities. These also built themselves cities, and they called their cities after their names of their fathers unto this day. The children of Canaan also built themselves cities, and they called their cities after their names, 11 cities and others without number. The 4 men from the, check it out, the 4 men from the valley, from the family of Ham, 4 men from the family of Ham, right, went to the land of the plains. These are the names of the 4 men: Sodom, Gomorrah, Ada, Zebulun. So these Ham children, right? How were they ain't no connected, they're not connected to Shem. We know what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. So Sodom, these are names of the 4 men. They're from Ham. Sodom, Gomorrah, Adam, and Zebulun, right? These men, right? So like I said, you gotta understand they got the names of these cities are named after men. That's how you get Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's the name of a man that came from Ham. Gomorrah is the name of a man from Ham. Adamah and Zebulun, all that, those are 4 men. These men built themselves 4 cities in the land of the plains, and they called the name of their cities after their own name, right there. And they and their children and all belonging to them dwelt in these cities, and they were fruitful, multiplied greatly, and dwelt peaceably. So let's go look at the story right quick. Noah and Lot. The Lord of hosts multiplied them. They were rich. They had a lot of herds, cattle, all this stuff happened. So the story goes that they were so wealthy, their cattle, they started having trouble with the herdsmen, so they had to separate. So Abraham told Lot that, choose one. If you go to the right, he's gonna go to the left. So Lot decided to go down to this Sodom and Gomorrah. So like I said before, how the hell they brothers? It would have said that. We going down to where his brothers at, where his people at. But the people in Sodom and Gomorrah they ain't have no connection with Lot. Okay? So it says 26, 27. And they and their children and all belonging to them dwelt in these cities, and they were fruitful, multiplied greatly, and dwelt peaceably. And Seir, the son of son of Hittite, son of Canaan, went and found a valley opposite to Mount Paran, and he built the city there, and he and his 7 sons and his household dwelt there, and he called the city which he built Seir, right, according to his name, and that is the land of Seir unto this day. These are the families of the children of Ham, according to their languages and their cities, which they were scattered to the countries after the tower. And some of the children of Shem, see that? Some of the children of Shem, son of Noah, father of all the children of Hebrews, also went and built themselves cities in the places where they were scattered, and they called their cities after their names. And the sons of Shem were Elam, Asher, Ascad, Lud, Aram, and they built themselves cities and called the names of all their cities after their name. And Asher, son of Shem, and his children and household went forth at that time in the very large body of them, and they went to a distant land that they found, and they met with a very extensive valley in the land that they went to, and they built themselves 4 cities, and they called them after their own names and occurrences. And these are the names of the cities which children of Asher built: Nineveh, Rezin, Caleb, and Rehoboth. And the children of Asher dwelt there unto this day. And the children of Abraham also went and built themselves cities, and they called the names of the cities Uz after their eldest brother, and they dwell therein. That is the land of Uz to this day. And in the second year after the tower, second year after the tower from the house of Asher, whose name was Bela, went from the land of Nineveh to sojourn with his household uh, wherever he could find a place, and they came until opposite the cities of the plains against Sodom, and they dwelt there. And the man rose up and built there a small city called the name of Bela after his name, that is the land of Zor unto this day. And these are the families of the children of Shem, according to their language and their cities. After that, they were scattered upon the earth after the tower. And every kingdom, city, and family of the families of the children of Noah built themselves many cities after this, and they established governments in all their cities in order to be regulated by their orders. So did all the families of the children of Noah forever. Okay, so that was chapter 10. Any questions, comments?
By you reading that, it seems like there were so many children, and they're naming all the cities after themselves. One of them named them after their big brother that you read. And this is all the eastern part of the earth.
No, that's over there, middle over there, over where in
Yeah,
the
yeah, on the
east.
eastern part. They're not speaking anything about the western part, like United States and this the North America, South America. 'Cause that's all on the eastern part. Europe, Asia, Africa, that part.
Well, I mean, the way that
Before the
the way they
pandemic.
saw the world,
Mhm.
then ain't the way we looking at it. They it's been hoodwinked the way, because he said the whole earth. So
Oh,
what we call it one thing, it's something else going on. They done hoodwinked all of this in order for us to have the world view that we have. They didn't, we've been dictated the world view that we have.
so there really wasn't a big ocean between all of that. Excuse me, between North America, South America, and Europe and Africa, because they're like kind of joint together in in Australia. So everything was together, but yet they spread out all over.
Well, it's like it is now. It's just
So
they
you
got
the US.
name it a different way.
So
You
when he
notice how
mentioned it,
they said the ocean of Gihon.
oh
They said the
yes,
ocean of Gihon, right?
yes,
What
sir,
do Gihon remind you of?
the Pacific.
It's one of the four rivers.
Oh, rivers. Okay,
But right here they're saying ocean. The
yes.
ocean Gihon. Right. So yeah. So anyway, 36. I just want to shine a light on verse 36. And the man rose up, built there a small city. This guy named Bela rose up, built there a small city, called the name Bela after his name. That is the land of Zor unto this day. So do that ring a bell? It says Zor, Zor. Would that ring a bell?
Uh,
Then, then when that two angels that maybe got Lot out of Sodom, then they take him to Zor.
yes, sir.
Right. They put him down in Zor. Then that's where Lot ended up sleeping with his two daughters. Same place.
That okay. Yeah, they took him into the cave. Correct.
Right. Right. Take
So
him to
he was drunk, and they took advantage of him because they thought that they were the only ones left. So
right.
they wanted
Right.
to
Because
multiply.
they saw what was happening to those cities around there. Sodom and Gomorrah was being destroyed, and they thought the whole world was being destroyed.
Right.
So they felt like they needed to repopulate the earth with their daddy.
Yes, sir. So when they mention U.S., what is that? They mention U.S., the city of, in,
UZ?
sir?
That's a Z, ain't it?
No, it's at U.S.
What I said?
No, I thought you said U.S. Did you say U.Z.?
Yeah, Uz. That's
Oh,
one of the sons of Shem.
okay.
Right. Okay. Anybody else got anything else before we go? Anybody got a scripture they want to read?
Yes, sir. Going to Deuteronomy and chapter 34, verse 5. And the Lord descended in the clouds and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of the Lord. Um, I'm sorry, it was Exodus 34, chapter
Okay.
34, verse 5. Exodus. Sorry about that.
Okay. What did it say?
It says, verse 5, it says, and the Lord descended in the clouds and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of the Lord.
So what's your take on that?
It's the, I don't know, the Lord claiming that he is the Lord, but he says, and proclaim the name of the Lord.
Right. So what they tell you? Is a, how can Lord come and proclaim his own self? Just
No,
or,
sir. But,
so that's Michael proclaiming Yahweh.
oh,
That's what that is. That's another example of showing you that it ain't no one. It ain't no just one. It's Yahweh, and just like in Isaiah 44 and 6. I am I am the King and my Redeemer, the Lord of hosts.
okay. Yes, sir. So verse 6 says, and the Lord passed by before him and proclaimed the Lord God,
Right,
merciful and gracious, long suffering, and abundant in goodness and in truth. Okay.
right. So it's just like we saw when we was in Exodus when the Pharaoh attacked the Egyptian army. It says that the Lord looked through the cloud and he took the wheels off of the chariots of the Egyptians. So we know from Ezekiel chapter 1 that it's Yahweh and four angels in the cloud, right?
Yes, sir.
He's not in the cloud by himself. So when the cloud came down on top of Mount Zion, it ain't just Yahweh in the cloud. So when it says the Lord called Moses up into the cloud, that ain't Yahweh. Yahweh ain't the only one in the cloud. The Lord of hosts called him up into the cloud. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So that being said, nobody else have anything. We're gonna close out right here. I'm gonna say shalom, shalom, and another shalom. I'll see everybody Saturday for our morning Shabbat class, or you can come into YouTube for the men's Bible study tomorrow. Shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
I highly recommend that you get this book and you read it because it's a must that you understand who the God head is in the order that's in the Old Testament and Tanakh, because it's not the same as in the New Testament. And when you read this and you get an understanding, understand. So I highly recommend that you get this book. It's the Elohim of Israel, and it's a breakdown on the word Elohim and who the God of Israel is and the Godhead.